Hello, everyone. Welcome back. If you are a returning listener, we were Dingers with the Boys. If you've noticed, we have changed to What If Sportscast.
Welcome if you are new or What If Sportscast. I'm Kyle.
I'm Tim.
Tim.
Yeah. And we're going to be talking about what if scenarios and different sports.
Yeah.
Big in sports. What if?
Yeah, they're literally sports history can almost be determined by one or two specific things that, hey, if that would have changed or if that was a little bit different, then entire sports history would have changed.
Exactly.
So
and one of the biggest of all, we're going into it right away.
Yep.
What if Tom Brady never got a shot in 2001?
Yeah.
Drew Bledsoe never gets hurt.
Yeah. So first,
what do you think right off the bat? Do you think he's the GOAT? GOAT right now.
Yes. Right now, he's the GOAT.
Who do you think he would be like if Drew Bledsoe never got hurt that year?
I think, honestly, maybe Drew Brees.
Really? You think that good?
Well, I don't think... maybe,
I don't think he ends up even being like that much of a starter, to be honest.
I think he would be a star. He'd probably win one Super Bowl.
You think he'd win?
I think so.
With the Patriots or somebody else?
I think with somebody else. I think he would have went to a roster that was good enough. He would have got his chance, and then he's still a good quarterback.
I think he would have been a glorified backup, like Brock Osweiler, Matt Castle, something like that. I honestly don't think if it didn't end up how it was, especially if he didn't play with the Patriots, I don't think he would.
So you think it's more Belichick?
I think the system and the timing just worked perfect for him.
This will be perfect then because, we're going to dive right into it. You can see we have tons of notes.
But first, for those that don't know, Drew Bledsoe was the QB for the Patriots. He got hurt in week 2.
Yep.
Suffered a hit from Jets linebacker Mo Lewis and internal bleed. They originally thought it was just a concussion. And like, all right, he's out probably till the next week. At that time, concussions weren't as big of a deal. Telling you just maybe miss a week.
Yeah.
Come to find out, internal bleeding.
It's actually one of the more severe injuries, I would say, in NFL history. That's huge.
Oh, yeah.
That could be life-threatening. And then, so because of that, Tom Brady gets thrown into the game. And from then on, just the legacy was made.
The craziest thing, Drew Bledsoe signed a 10 years, $3 million contract the year before. And at that time, he was the highest ever.
Yeah. I don't even think he was the best quarterback in the AFC. But
I don't think he was the best quarterback in the AFC East.
Yeah.
Like,
it might not have been.
The guy, the year before he signed it, he started 16 games, a 5-11 record, 3,291 yards, which, hey, that's nothing to slouch at. However, that's 13th in the league in pass yards. 17 touchdowns, 16th in the league. 16th in interceptions, which is right in the middle. He had 13 interceptions, 16th. And then he was 4th in sacks.
Yeah.
Does that scream top 5 QB?
No, not at all. But
what?
I think it just shows you that New England Patriots, they fully believed in Drew Bledsoe. They drafted him in 1993. He was the first overall pick. He played there from 93 to 2001, leading New England to 4 playoff appearances in 6 seasons. They went to 1 Super Bowl in 1996, where they lost the Packers. But, I mean, he was known for a strong arm and being able to come back in the fourth quarter. And back in that era, you didn't have quarterbacks that were, like, you had really good quarterbacks, but it seemed like you could get away with, hey, you don't need to throw for 4,500 yards and 35 touchdowns and stuff like that.
Still, to me, though, how is he the number 1 paid player?
Yeah.
That is insane to me.
Yeah.
I don't understand that. Bill Belichick just got hired.
Mm-hmm.
The year before they gave him this, Bill Belichick got hired.
Yep.
Okay, if Bill Belichick doesn't like him, why are you giving him that much money? Because he had almost complete control right off the bat.
Yeah.
Because then there was rumors once Tom Brady came in that he actually liked Tom Brady more than Bledsoe to begin with. So, what? Dude, what? How does that even happen?
It was just, it seemed like there was a massive disconnect between maybe general managers.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Bill Belichick had like complete control. I'm pretty sure he was like GM. He had complete control. They pretty much gave him complete control right off the bat. So it was his, like, I would say not completely his decision. A big decision was his. And supposedly he never really liked him. So why do you give him 10 years? Why do you give him 10 years? I don't understand that, man. It's just,
I know, it's just quarterbacks will they're such a integral part of a team. It's like you want your franchise quarterback, and Patriots fully believed that he was.
That's from reports. It sounds like he didn't. So that's where I'm like,
so honestly, it could be a whole different what if of, hey, what if Bill Belichick probably would never be considered one of the greatest coaches?
It had so much Tom Brady end up being who he is, wide receivers, running backs, just teams in general, everything. But the thing that, if they don't win the Super Bowl, Tom Brady's first year as quarterback, okay? So they started off 11-2, and that was the 2 games that Bledsoe did. They were 11-5. Yeah, 11-5, and won the Super Bowl. An interesting thing is, in the conference championship, Tom Brady got hurt, and Drew Bledsoe actually ended up playing and led them to the Super Bowl. I can't remember when he for sure got hurt during the game, but he finished the game and led them to the Super Bowl. If they don't win the Super Bowl, though, is Tom Brady still the quarterback?
I think you could maybe go into hey, we'll see what happens in training camp. We'll see, hey, we're not going to name a starter. We're not going to say Tom Brady is our starter, and we're not going to get rid of Drew Bledsoe, maybe, because he left after that season.
Yeah, because they traded him to Buffalo. They traded him for a first-round pick. And it ended up being one of their top defensive players that played for them for, I think, 13 years or something like that. Well, let's talk about Tom Brady in college first, because I want to go into some stuff, but I want to talk about that first. So you go ahead with that.
Tom Brady, he went to Michigan, started 2 of 4 years, had a 20-5 record as a starter. Going into the draft, he was described as a smart, experienced, big game signal caller. He had a high efficiency, high completion rate, but his combine stats were honestly not that great.
Even before the combine, though, he wasn't really that. I think he was, after the combine, he was ranked the 10th QB, I think, right? And even before that, it wasn't like people were like, oh man, they're going to get a steal of whoever gets him in the second, third round or anything.
Valued as an average quarterback. People said he was a backup, but with potential, which there was a lot of QBs like that.
Which I would say every single QB that is drafted, they'll say that. All right, he's a backup, but no, who knows? He has
thought that he would be like Matt Castle. That was his scout profile.
Which a glorified backup.
Exactly
that's
what you were saying. So, but yeah.
And then he ends up getting picked 6th round, 199th overall.
Which,
you know what's funny too? New England didn't even have that pick. They got that pick because their punter, Tom Tupa, left in free agency that year. Year before. So that's why they got that pick. So
that's insane. Quarterbacks, they understood the depth that you need depth at quarterback. So they understood that they wanted to draft a quarterback. But yeah, they ended up waiting until the 6th round because they had a lot of team needs that needed to be filled before that.
Did they actually really want to draft a quarterback? They had 4 quarterbacks on the team that time. At the start of the season, Tom Brady was the 4th string quarterback. Why are you drafting a QB?
I don't know. It might go back to...
Did they really actually like him? They had 3 other QBs, like 3 QBs before.
I know I read that QB coach Dick Rybin, I think that's how you pronounce his name, he really liked Tom Brady. He thought he had a lot more potential. There's a few other personnel that liked him as well. They were really scouting him heavy, but yeah, I don't know. Having 3 quarterbacks already, it is weird.
So many things just fell completely right into place that was just weird, honestly. I saw a funny story that Robert Kraft, the first time Tom Brady walks in, and he's, hello, Mr. Kraft, and he started introducing himself. And Robert Kraft is like, I know who you are. You're Tom Brady. You're a 6th round pick. He said, it's going to be the best decision you've ever made in your life.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, we'll see.
Turns out
it's the best decision ever.
Yeah.
I just can't fathom how it all happened. Think of the other teams that picked it. First of all, every single team in the league had a chance to draft him.
Yep.
And who knows? I think the system and just how it worked out was perfect for Tom Brady at the time. But there were 6 other QBs picked before him. Do you know any of them? Just off the top of your head?
No, I'm reading them.
They're 5 years old.
Yeah.
So you don't even really remember those first Patriots Super Bowls. I remember, but first one, Chad Pennington.
I recognize him.
Okay. Played for the Jets. Giovanni Carmazzi.
Never heard of him.
I've never heard of him either. Chris Redman by the Ravens, 75th overall. T. Martin, 163rd by the Steelers. Mark Bulger. You know him? I know Mark Bulger.
so.
He played for the Rams. Lost to the Patriots in the Super Bowl. 168th overall. And then, I don't even know how to say this guy's name. Spurgeon Wynn, 183rd by the Browns, which is, it cracks me up that it's by the Browns because another terrible pick by the Browns, QB. I don't even know if these guys, I know Chad Pennington and Mark Bulger. Other than that, I know Giovanni Carmazzi played 1 season.
Mm-hmm.
And then he played in the Canadian League. And so I don't know these other guys, but you just have to feel terrible. But let's get into it. The first year that he took as a starter, okay, I know he only had 14 games really out of 16.
Mm-hmm.
His stats weren't even off the charts.
No.
Okay, so his stats, for everybody, he was 11-3, which, hey, that's amazing. Yeah. But then 2,843 yards, which was 22nd in pass yards. Like you said, 2 more games would have helped, obviously, that. 13th in touchdowns, though, with 18, which 18 is not that much. And then 20th in interceptions with 12, and then 5th in sacks, which that, obviously, interceptions and sacks probably would have went up. But looking at that, the stats really aren't that much better than Bledsoe the year before. Was it really Tom Brady, or was it just the team got better?
I think it's just the team because, we looked and saw it because that's a huge jump between the year 2000 going 5-11 and then the next year going 11-5 and winning a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, we looked at it, who they drafted, Richard Seymour, future Hall of Famer.
Yep.
Matt Light, who made 3 Pro Bowls.
Which is huge.
He protected Brady's blind side, which that's probably a lot of people say the most important linemen of the 5. So those were, and then the rest of the draft, they were bad. And then they had a lot of free agents.
Key defensive free agents, and the defense ranked 6th overall in points allowed that year, which was 17 points per game. And then the running back was a huge thing too. The year Bledsoe it was Kevin Fulk, who rushed for 570 yards, 4 touchdowns, and J.R. Redman, who 406 yards, 2 touchdowns. The very next one, they got a free agent from the Bills, Antoine. Is it Antoine?
I think it's Antoine.
Antoine Smith. He rushed for 1,157 yards and 12 touchdowns.
Yeah,
that's
huge.
So that's where, obviously we know what Tom Brady became. Without these key free agents or key pieces, does he become who he is? Does he become the GOAT? Because you obviously need stuff around you. So, all right. So what I'm asking, if Drew Bledsoe had this same team, how are they?
I think they would have been good. They would have been a playoff team. They might even make a Super Bowl.
Do you think he stays there, Ben? Saying he doesn't get hurt, this is the same thing. Do you think they keep playing Drew Bledsoe?
Yeah.
Or do you think they switch?
I think they would keep Bledsoe. Unless Tom Brady was showing you way different things in practices and training camps and all that. I just think with the era, you had your guy, you signed Bledsoe for all this money. You were going to stick with him unless he got hurt. Mm-hmm. And so I personally think if Bledsoe got or didn't get hurt, Tom Brady, he'd probably be a free agent in 2002, 2003, and he's going somewhere else.
I don't even think he's playing. I honestly don't even think he really it would be like a Matt Castle or Brock Osweiler. Oh yeah, he was good for a year, maybe, or a few games here or there.
I think so. You think he'd be like Daniel Jones, kind of like now?
Worse.
Wow.
I don't even think he would have started that much, man. That's what I'm saying. But it's easy to say that when we see what he is.
Yeah.
Back then, and you have to have the perfect stuff, like perfect scenario for him. So say he goes to, I don't know, there was a few teams that we thought.
So I wrote down, I think, 5 different teams that based on like team needs and different things that I could see Tom Brady signing with. First one being Cleveland Browns. We talked about how poor of a team Cleveland Browns were. They drafted Tim Couch first overall, but he wasn't really working. Browns had a good defense, so they're winning games, but their QBs hurt them. And they could never really make that step up. Another one, Detroit Lions. He'll be a hometown kid. He went to Michigan. Detroit Lions were 31st in total offense. So they could definitely use a guy that he has a high completion rate. He could have fit it into a West Coast offense from new coach Marty Moyenweg, I think is how you pronounce it.
See, so all these teams that you're saying, they're not very good, though. That's what I'm saying. And I get the Patriots were only 5-11 the season before as well. But they did get a lot of different things. They had that new coach, Bill Belichick, and he was really pushing defense.
Yeah.
Obviously, the defense ended up working out great.
Yeah.
So say same thing right now. Tom Brady comes in and he ends up playing for, I don't know, Jacksonville.
It really just depends on the
Team.
His best
Well, it was another bad team.
right now.
Yeah.
The Giants.
The Giants.
It wouldn't work. So it really just depends on the team.
That's what I'm saying, though. Is it because of the system and everything as well? Did Tom Brady need Bill Belichick, at least at the beginning of his career, more than Bill Belichick needed Tom Brady? Because I think at the end, you could tell, once Tom Brady left, Patriots were a completely different team, even with Bill Belichick. And Tampa Bay, all of a sudden, boom, Super Bowl.
I think they needed each other.
At that start?
Yeah.
I think Bill Belichick didn't need him as much to start because he was just trying to get his system and stuff in there. And then it just ended up working out perfectly. I think the biggest thing with Tom Brady, too, he took care of the ball.
Yeah.
But that was the one thing, like with a lot of people say Peyton Manning, he didn't take, he threw so many interceptions. He still holds the record for his rookie year. However, Peyton Manning is top 5 ever.
Yeah.
If not even better than that.
Yeah. I mean, that goes to show you, just how important, like, you have to fit into the system as well as you have to have the skill. But real quick, I want to take a pause. We want to give a shout out to Avo is a sports betting tool that you can use to help beat the sports books. It's helping users win thousands of money per month, and it can help you too. We're going to have a link in the description. Click on that and you can sign up.
Definitely go check out Avo for sports betting, guys. It'll definitely help you get you some money.
It's a game changer.
So, but back to this.
I would say, so if Tom Brady had to leave in free agency and if he was going to like still be considered a really good quarterback, the only team that I could see that him having a lot of success with still is maybe the San Francisco 49ers. Right around that time, they were like a really good team. They still had Terrell Owens and a really strong defense, a declining O-line, but still pretty good. And they could have used draft to build around Tom Brady. But I think he would have been compared to Aaron Rodgers still, or
so still a
Steve
top
Young. So still a top QB, but maybe only 1 or 2 Super Bowl wins instead of 6.
It's 7
or 7. Yeah. Another team I had on here was Tampa Bay. I think John Gruden at one point, he coached Tampa Bay and he liked strong, smart quarterbacks, which Tom Brady fit. So I could see them maybe, hey, we want to go after Tom Brady if he was still a backup somewhere, or they were going to try to sign him, or
I
whatever.
completely disagree. I don't think he would have had any market. I just don't see it. Look at coming out of college, like you were saying. He's now a big court. I'm thinking of, say, Ian Book for Notre Dame a couple of years ago. He was probably around that, and he got drafted around that same time.
Yeah.
Where's Ian Book now?
Out of the league.
That's what I'm saying. I think he's a backup somewhere or like on a practice squad or something.
He would have probably. So
that's why we're saying this, and I think you're saying it because you know what Tom Brady became.
Yeah.
Because you're like, hey, okay, he's this amazing. I don't think he would ever really got the chance, though.
Yeah.
And proof. John Elway's the best quarterback to ever live.
Yeah. That'd be awesome.
It's hard to go against Tom Brady as being the GOAT because played 23 years.
Yep.
7 Super Bowls, lost 3. So he was in 10.
Yeah.
But he won 7 Super Bowls, most ever by a player. 2 passes, well, at least 1 pass away from winning an 8 against the Giants. If Eli Manning never came in, he probably has 9 Super Bowls.
Yeah. And he would have had an undefeated season, too.
Exactly.
Well,
With a crazy pass to Plexico Burress, I think it was.
The helmet catch.
I think it wasn't Plexico Burress. I know he was on that team. I can't remember if it was him.
I thought it was.
Was it somebody else?
Yeah, it's somebody else.
Somebody small. Actually, I think Plexico Burress was a bigger wide receiver. But, dude, it's so, what if so many things didn't happen to make it where Tom Brady was on the Patriots at that time?
Yeah.
Any other team he's on, I don't think he's what he is. I don't think he's anywhere close to what he is. I don't think we're talking about him right now. TB12, nobody knows.
Yeah.
Nobody has any idea.
Yep.
I don't know. You disagree a little bit, though. You think he'd be still, like, Drew Brees is a Hall of Famer.
I think he would have still got his chance somewhere. I think it might have taken another injury for him to get a chance, but I think eventually he would have got a chance.
And you think he would have just excelled?
I think he would have struggled at first. I'm not saying he's going to come in instantly and be amazing because he didn't even do that with the Patriots.
And he won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, but I think
I get your stats.
Stat-wise, he wasn't that good. The defense in New England was amazing. The O-line was amazing. He was given a really good opportunity. He was like the Brock Purdy back then. It's like the 49ers are an amazing team, amazing built roster, that Brock Purdy was the literally last pick in the draft. He's still bringing them to Super Bowls. And but that was like,
that was another because of an injury.
A perfect example of what Tom Brady was. And it just, Brady.
Here's another thing to bring in, though. Say it happens 4 years down the road and an injury happens. Okay, does he end up doing good there? Because I feel like to come in, I mean, he wasn't a rookie. It was his second year, technically.
Yeah.
He threw 3 passes the year before, but pretty much his rookie season-esque. First time he really was playing. The confidence that he had after taking them and winning the Super Bowl that year,
propelled.
Does that change everything?
Yeah.
Because say they even go 11-5, but they lose in the first round.
I think he still would have.
Do you still think that he would have? Because I think that, man, winning that first Super Bowl had to, like, his confidence is like, hey, I can be a top QB in this. And I'm sure obviously we're not like professional athletes. I'm sure every professional athlete is like, hey, I can do this. But when you actually win something, like, and against the very best, that at that time, all these QBs that he's playing against probably, he already looked up to. Yeah. Like in college and stuff, he's like, man, like Peyton Manning and different stuff like that, all these other QBs. And so I think that had to have helped as well.
I'm going to go back to what you said earlier in the episode when he met Robert Kraft for the first time. And he told him that was the best decision you've ever made. I think he still has that confidence.
How many people, though, have that confidence that we don't hear stuff about that because they never panned out?
Probably a lot.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because obviously we're not in the rooms, but as somebody that, hey, even if you're the worst player in the NFL or whatever, you've probably been the best, if not the best, one of the top couple your entire life players. And so you already have that confidence, I feel like. Obviously, I think you have to, like, especially at QB, it's just, it doesn't matter if you're a bad QB, good to QB, whatever. You're looked at as a leader. You have to be a leader on that. And you're like some of the most vocal usually and stuff. And so I think the QBs especially have that confidence already. But like I said, I think just being able to get that right off the bat where it's immediately into the Super Bowl and you win the Super Bowl, that has to be like,
it's got to,
dude, I'm the best ever.
Yeah. And I think it also helped that he was a 6th round pick. I think if he was a 2nd, 3rd rounder, it would have still been like a confidence boost, but it was even more. It's all those people that doubted me, I just proved them wrong.
But helped even a little bit more.
But,
I don't know. Comment, guys, and let us know what you think. I actually think a lot more people are going to agree with you than me,
too.
But I think it's they're not using their heads because they're knowing how, like I've said this numerous times, they know what Tom Brady has become.
Yeah.
When you think of Tom Brady, what do you think of?
Really good quarterback, and I hate him. Beat Denver.
And beat the Broncos all the time.
Yeah.
But obviously you were young, but in Michigan, I bet you there's people that when Tom Brady got drafted, even New England, they're like, why are we drafting another QB? And a guy that played, it was mediocre in Michigan. It wasn't like he was amazing or anything.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't like Shoutout Sanders. No, just, you know what I mean, though? And so there's so many just possibilities, and even just like how we talked, there's so many like scenarios that, hey, all right, if Tom Brady did this, if Tom Brady did this, if New England did this, if Cleveland would have drafted him, all this. And so let us know what you guys think. Just with all this, it's a lot. And it's their first time doing this, like a sportscast this way. So hopefully everybody liked it.
But we want your final verdict. Do you think he still would have been a really good quarterback? Do you think he still would have been the greatest of all time? Do you think he would have been a couple of years and washed out? Or definitely let us know in the comments. But this is what we are as a sportscast. This is what we're going to be doing week in and week out. And I mean, there's tons and tons of scenarios that we're going to be diving into. So
you got a list already.
We're pumped.
Next week, join in. We're going to talk about Michael Jordan. There's crazy amounts of stuff with Michael Jordan. But what we're going to really focus on is what if he didn't retire after the 3 championships in Chicago? Would they have won 8 straight? Would he have been that much better or whatever? And if he would have stayed retired and just played baseball, is he still the GOAT? Do they win championships again? Does he ever actually make it to the MLB? So
stuff like that.
So we'll be talking about that next week. But hopefully you guys liked it. Again, definitely go check out Avo. If anybody likes sports betting.
They'll definitely help you out. And help you win.
But hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and we will see you next week. Peace.